welcome back. It's halftime, 0-0 here between Brockport and Oneonta State men, the number 1 and 2 seeds of the SUNYAC tournament, playing for the championship and an NCAA automatic bid.
Oneonta State will have the kickoff to start this half.
And as we were saying before, Oneonta's had better chances than Brockport with 5 shots on goal. The best, I would say, was the header off of the, was that a direct? Not a corner, it was a direct kick, right? It was a free kick, I think. And Brockport's goalkeeper made a great save. He's had a couple good saves.
Looks like Oneonta's going to stay with that 4-3-3 formation with a triangle midfield, keeping Kowalski in the game, and bringing LeRond, JP Arenas, and Rivera back in. Lang takes the kickoff and just plays it wide to Matt Brown, who's has checked back into the game. Ball gets played wide. Scott's able to get the turn and play it up to Fortier, who checks back, plays the ball back to wing midfielder Kowalski. Ball gets played back again and is going forward. Looks like Oneonta's going for a lot of the short passes.
Let's see if either team made any adjustments. It doesn't look like it. Looks like Brockport's outside mids are still dropping pretty far back to defend.
Oneonta's going to get this throw after a little discussion of who it went out off of. Scott takes this throw, plays a little short one into Kowalski, who's unable to get that pass back to Scott, but is able to pick it back up. He plays it back to Greg, who goes right through the midfield. Is able to play the ball on Fortier. Fortier plays to Rivera. Rivera gets the ball taken away by Cheeseman, who looks to just play that ball forward. It looks like Brockport is still sticking with that direct style of play, trying to break through and hope that they can just beat Oneonta's back line. Oneonta regains possession of the ball. Greg with the ball, plays a great ball forward to LeRond. LeRond's able to bring it down cleanly as Brockport picks that ball right off. Oneonta's got them pinned back into their half, and they're just played out of bounds for a throw-in. Matt Brown takes the throw for Oneonta to Shkreli, who plays the ball back. Little high for Brown, and in the aspect they turned it over, but Brockport turns it right back over to Oneonta. Lang settles that ball down, plays it forward to JP Arenas. Arenas makes a nice little turn.
Oh, that's a nice through ball, Gary.
Plays a great through ball to LeRond, and it's cleared out for a corner kick for Oneonta. Rivera is going to take this corner kick and see if they can create something on it. Here comes the big guy, Greg Ford. See if he can get his head on it, as he is dangerous in the air, just like Fortier. Ball gets played short.
But can be dangerous. It's bouncing across. Oh!
Lang takes a shot that is deflected.
Oh, it was definitely deflected. Yeah, it's another corner.
And now it's another corner. We finally get the signal.
I think that was going in if it wasn't deflected, and that was off of the defender's back.
Yeah, that was
nothing intentional.
Great shot. Lang hit that well.
Over 90, I think.
And if it wasn't for the defender, it could have been interesting. Rivera with that corner kick again.
Oh, this one's a better ball.
Ball all the way across to Fortier, who heads it down, but not enough power on it as Solon picks up his 4th save of the game.
It's going to have to be a good goal.
Let's send it out to our 3rd member, Mike Weltman, for an update.
Thanks, guys. Unfortunately, you weren't able to hear me at half, but what Coach said was that this atmosphere is great. They love playing in it, and he hopes that these fans will help boost his team to a win for the SUNYAC Championship. Back to you.
Thanks, Mike, for that recap. As Oneonta picks up the ball again off that goal kick, Greg settles it right down and plays it forward, but gives the ball away to Brockport. Brockport seems to be struggling with keeping possession right now. They cut off that back pass to Siegelman, so Greg has to play the ball forward, unfortunately right out of bounds. Bobby Ross takes the throw for Brockport, who gets the ball into Altabelli. Altabelli's been dangerous with the ball at his feet, but he's been unable to create a lot of opportunities for himself. Brockport throwing again. Ross has taken this throw-in for Brockport, who's able to throw it just about as far as Gildemeyer without the flip. Matt Brown wins that ball for Oneonta State and plays it forward, but Cheeseman's able to pick it back up and play it back out to Ross. Ross takes the ball across the field and is pressured by Oneonta.
Good double by Oneonta to win that ball.
Seems like anytime Brockport goes across the center of the field, there's 2 or 3 people there. The advantage of playing that 4-3-3 with the triangle midfield at times. What do you think about the 4-3-3?
I've played well. I think it creates some dangerous opportunities. You know, a team's not really sure how to do, especially, you know, Brockport's outside mid sitting back. It gives a lot of space for outside backs if they like to go forward. And with 3 forwards up top, which I haven't seen, you know, the other advantage of us really pressuring up top with 3 forwards. That's the other piece that I like about it.
It looks like right now with our forwards and defensively, our wing forwards, Kowalski and Rivera on the far side and Gary at times, are dropping back in and defending. And with their speed and the advantage of being able to play possession, they're able to transition out of it very well. Laurent puts pressure on the back, and Duffy is able to clear that ball wide. Aubrey Brown is able to bring it down and settle things down for Brockport, as they're getting a little chaotic there at times. Ball gets played forward to Altobelli. Altobelli gets that shot off and just misses the near post. Siegelman had the angle covered. That was the first good chance for Brockport on goal. Nice little 1-2 play through. Gets the good shot off. And let's take a look at the replay.
I don't know how this guy got this split pass here. And on his right foot, it makes it dangerous.
Little ball there, and Greg kind of got caught behind. Siegelman had the angle, but I think if that's hit on frame, it'll make it interesting for sure. Brockport seems to be picking that up a little bit, putting a little more pressure on Oneonta.
Getting a few more numbers forward into their attack as well.
Yes, it's a Brockport throw-in now. Ross takes the throw and throws it deep, but it falls right to Greg's feet. Greg just clears the ball forward. Fortier is looking for a mistouch. Ball falls to Nick Lang, and then is headed back on by Max Egan. Jeff Wild picks up the ball for Brockport and is looking to settle things down. He tries to play the ball through the middle, but Nick Lang picks it off for Oneonta, who plays the ball forward for Gary Larond.
Similar kind of frantic for both teams, you know, as we started the game. Hopefully, you know, another few minutes is going to settle down again and get some possession going.
Rivera just played the ball through to JP Arenas, who was able to get a quick turn and play it through to his center midfield mate. Nick Lang plays the ball wide to Kowalski. Kowalski settles it down, plays back to Scott. Scott back to JP Arenas. Arenas plays forward. Found Rivera's feet, but that little bit of pressure was able to knock him off the ball, and they play it forward, but Oneonta regains possession. Oneonta seems to really play possession in the midfield. If there's nothing there, they're not forcing it right now. They want that perfect ball in. Great ball by Scott into Kowalski, who finds a lot of space, but the run just wasn't there for Oneonta. Great shield by Brockport, and it will be a goal kick for Brockport. Looks like Brockport's starting to push a little more forward. It looks like they have Altobelli and Kevin Dorn playing up front, where in the first half they were setting back quite a bit. Now they're starting to run 2 up here. Looks like a 4-4-2, but when they're defending, almost a 4-5-1.
Yeah.
A foul on Nick Lang, a push in the back on that goal kick, and the ball will be at the mid-stripe. A direct kick, and Saln's actually going to stay back on this one. It looks like Aubrey Brown for Brockport is going to take this kick, as it's just inside Oneonta's defensive half. Oneonta's holding a high line at the 18 to give Siegelman some room in behind.
Well, they're sending a few numbers forward here.
Great ball forward by Brown. And the ball is headed out by Nick Gregg, as a couple Brockport players are all over the ground. Brockport's looking for a
handball in the box, I don't know.
Yes, Laurent. Laurent just picked that ball up as Aubrey Brown is clutching and grabbing, trying to break that quick transition down. Foul gets called back right in front of Brockport's line. Not very happy they are right now. Dan Scott's going to take this kick in their own defensive half. He plays that ball forward.
It's like the sun's a little bit of a factor as some of the
And a
players are
foul
putting
gets
hands up.
called on Fortier. And it's not very often you see sunny days in November in Oneonta. Take advantage of it while we've got it right now. But you're right, it is causing some problems for the players, which could actually be an advantage for Oneonta if they start to get the ball in the box a little more. Solon takes this direct kick, puts the ball forward.
I think that was a push in the back of the Oneonta player.
And the official calls it back now because there was no advantage on that play. I'm actually curious why he didn't call it, being that it was in the defensive third to begin with. A lot of times officials don't want to play advantages back there. Ray Fitzpatrick sets the ball quick and plays wide to Greg, who again plays wide to Matt Brown. He plays it to Laurent, who brings it down off his chest and is able to turn to find space for Arenas, but Arenas just can't get the touch as Brockport clears it out over the line for a throw-in for Oneonta State. Justin Rivera is looking for a ball, and he's going to give the throw-in to Matt Brown, who plays it on to Rivera and heads it back. The ball gets flicked on again and out of bounds for another Oneonta State throw-in. Rivera is able to pick that throw-in up off the end line. Doesn't get much out of it, and Matt Brown gets the ball across. Bobby Ross picks that ball up for Brockport and just clears it forward, trying to just get rid of the pressure. Oneonta State just picks that ball right up and is now going right back at him again.
That a great ball into the box.
Great ball in.
And
Solon just collects it on the end line with no pressure around him whatsoever.
This is a good keeper Brockport has, so it's gonna have to be a good goal.
Yeah, Solon's done well this year. He's played every single game, every minute for Brockport. He's only given up 13 goals.
It's like Coach Byrne is going to his subs early in the second half, where you got the rule where you can re-enter once, so it's a good advantage if you have good players that you can rotate in maybe every 10-15 minutes.
Yeah, just to keep people fresh and see if you can create something different. I mean, when Josepher came in the last time in the first half, it seemed to create a difference. He just seems to playmate quite well for him. He'll work hard and just find spaces. Dan Scott's able to head that ball forward to Arenas, who does a nice little flick touch outside of the foot, who plays it on to Kowalski. Unfortunately, when the ball gets played back, by then Brockport had tracked back and had 3 people back with him. Brockport
doubles the ball very well. They've been doing it all game.
Yeah, it seems like Oneonta's had the most success when they've kept it wide. Every time they start to go to that center, that's where Brockport's numbers are right now. Altabelli's got the ball for Brockport, but he's unable to create anything as Fitzpatrick was able to push it forward. Altabelli finds that ball at his feet again. He's starting to take a few people on.
Dangerous little player, number 25. Oh,
Ross finds it wide, and the shot goes over top of the net.
As it was deflected.
It'll be a Brockport corner, and we have subs for both teams coming in. Number 3, Brian Humphrey for Brockport checks into the game. And number 23, Dan Josepher checks into the game for Oneonta State.
Wondering whose man that was wide open on the weak side.
Yeah, I'm thinking Coach Byrne will find out quickly who that was. We're almost 59 minutes into this game, and Brockport has a corner kick. The kick is up.
Good. It's still in play. Oh my goodness.
And it is headed out of play by Oneonta State, as it looked like a volleyball match for a little bit broke out as it just kept getting headed straight up. Ray Fitzpatrick gets that final touch to head it out of bounds to give Brockport their second consecutive corner kick. That was dangerous. With as many big bodies in there, Max struggles a little bit at 5'10".
Oh, it's a great defensive header.
Great clearance by J.P. Arenas, but
dangerous ball.
It is not cleared out yet as Brockport puts it back in. Dan Scott is able to play it wide to the right side.
Oneonta's got to
get
this ball out of here and regroup here.
They do. They're panic mode right now for no reason.
There we go.
Nick Gregg collects the ball and plays it wide, but once again, they're giving it up. A friendly deflection, and Gary Laurent almost finds himself in with only one defender. Brockport plays the ball into the offensive third again, but nothing comes of it as Gregg's able to collect and clear the ball wide, clear the ball high.
It's a lot of space in the midfield here. Both teams getting a little bit stretched out here in this bit of panic for a few minutes for Oneonta State.
That's the one thing, you get a little nervous. One mistake and it could cost you. Alex Shkreli checks back into the game, and so does Jeff Christian for Oneonta State. Looks like Rivera is going to come to this left side, and they're going to let Shkreli play on the right mid.
I see the Oneonta State has been using their bench a bit more than Brockport today. I think we've got the depth, and you like to think that that works to your advantage. You know, it's not that cold, so you don't have to worry about them getting warmed up.
Christian loses his balance on that ball, and Brockport takes the ball right over as Cheeseman is able to heel that ball back to Bobby Ross. He tries to play a ball straight across, but Justin Rivera is there for Oneonta to pick that ball off. Oneonta's getting pushed back into their own half because Brockport's picked up the pressure.
And they've definitely they're transitioning better, sending numbers forward.
Yeah, they seem to be stepping up a little more. You know, Dan Scott just made a great move to leave Jeff Wild kind of in his dust, and he's settling things down as they reverse the ball to the other side quite well. Matt Brown goes forward. He finds Nick Lang in the center. Little mistouch,
nice
but a great ball into Shkreli, who gets the ball across, and Rivera finishes that shot.
And our bench goes on to the...
What a great play as that ball is serviced straight across. Oneonta takes the 1-0 lead, 61-03 into the match.
That was a great chip ball, and who was that got around that? Oh,
and we've got a replay. Matt Brown was taking the ball down. He plays it into Lang. He actually gets a little lucky with this because he has a little mistouch and it throws Brockport off. A little chip ball into Shkreli, who gets around his defender, keeps this ball in play, puts the ball back. It caught Solomon off his line, and Rivera has no doubt about it. He just buries that in.
Inside.
Brockport now has the kickoff.
Is there a yellow card? 17 on Brockport.
Oneonta goal scored by number 30, Justin Rivera. Another play by number 14.
For Rivera, it is his 4th goal of the season, and nothing can be bigger right now than that goal.
It's a big goal for a freshman.
In the little melee after that goal, Jeff Wild of Brockport picked up a yellow card. Now we'll see what happens with Brockport. Are they going to start to press a little more and get some numbers forward to see if they can score a goal themselves, or are they going to set back still? Altabelli's got the ball at his feet for Brockport. He's been dangerous.
Dangerous player.
But Nick Gregg is able to pick that pass off and plays the ball right out of bounds for a Brockport throw-in. Gildermeyer's going to take this throw, but doesn't look like no flip throw this time for him. Looks like he only uses that down closer to the box so they can make it more like a corner kick. Nice tackle by Dan Scott allows Oneonta State to come out with the ball. He plays it forward to Laurent. But the ball gets played back into the defensive third, and Brian Humphrey is able to pick up the ball, and it gets cleared out of play by Raymond Fitzpatrick as Siegelman got caught off the line a little bit. It looks like a deep throw-in. Gildermeyer is going to take this flip, and here it comes. The ball's into play, and Christian is able to head that ball out. Ball gets played back in, and Fitzpatrick is able to head it out to Joseph. who plays a great ball forward to see if Laurent can get his legs going, but it just runs out of play.
Smart play by the keeper. You know, he's going to beat him to the ball, make sure it goes out. Could have kicked it out if Gary caught up to him.
Yeah, falls fields, he can shield it. Nice throw. Falls to Humphrey for Brockport, but he loses the ball to Nick Lang, who's able to get the ball forward to Josepher. Josepher goes back to Christian. And Christian's able to play wide to Matt Brown, who started that whole play on that last goal.
That's
great little through ball by Christian, but it looks like it's going to run just out of bounds for a Brockport goal kick. Right now it looks like Brockport's staying in that same formation.
Well, they're making the substitution. Sometimes it's easier to make your adjustments on a sub, so we'll see when the substitution comes in if they make any, or, you know.
That goal kick went over half and got headed forward, but Brockport was able to clear that out with Fitzpatrick playing that ball long to Laurent. Laurent is pressuring Aubrey Brown.
Still a lot of time with 25 minutes too, so.
Yeah, sometimes you don't want to make that change quite yet and see if your team can counter. Number 9, Tyler Marsh, is coming into the game for the Golden Eagles. It looks like he's going to run up front with Altobelli for a while. Lang wins that throw-in, but is unable to keep possession as Bobby Ross gets it forward, and then it is cleared out of bounds by Shkreli for a Brockport throw-in. Marsh gets his first touch and plays a great ball forward to Altobelli, who's unable to keep it as Nick Gregg is able to clear that ball out of bounds. Bobby Ross is going to take this throw, looking for the short one, and then they back off as he can throw the ball a good 20-30 yards as well.
Oh, it's a dangerous ball in the box. A flick.
A little flick on.
Oh.
Miss clear, and Dan Scott's got to get to it. He gets a little poke on it, but not enough.
Double here.
As Jeremy Cheeseman picks that ball up, Justin Rivera is able to double down and clear the ball out right to Brian Duffy, who plays the ball back in and is cleared out by Christian. Christian's able to find Matt Brown, who heads forward to Dan Josepher, goes back to Shkreli. He plays that forward to Laurent. Laurent gets around his defender. Great tackle by Brockport's Bobby Ross to keep possession. And now they're starting to counter on their own as Jeremy Cheeseman picks the ball up after losing his footing a bit and plays the ball into Turkin. Turkin loses the ball, though, to Fitzpatrick, and now Oneonta State's going to settle things down. The ball gets played forward, and Dan Josepher is able to head it on. And a foul is going to be called on Rivera as he kind of...
I don't know about that.
Got a little touch on Turkin there. So about 15 yards from half in their own defensive third, Brockport has a direct kick, and Saln is going to take this kick. They're putting numbers forward. Josepher is going to stay and force him to play it high and up and over. A little miss hit by Saln, but it finds the head of one of his teammates, and Oneonta is able to clear the ball out. Orlando plays in to Cheeseman, who plays it forward, but to no avail as Oneonta is able to come out. Shkreli's got the ball, plays the ball forward, gives it back to Brockport's Cheeseman, who plays it on to Marsh. Marsh has a little flick on to Orlando, and the ball is deflected out of bounds for an Oneonta State goal kick. Oneonta's Ian Tenzer is checking back into the match for Nick Lang. Tenzer had the first goal against Plattsburgh on Wednesday. Siegelman's getting set to take this kick. When would you make a change to go more offensive, Liz?
I would say somewhere, for me, I think 20, 15 minutes left. I'm a forward, so I like to send numbers forward.
Typical forward talking right there.
I like to do it a lot sooner than most, but You don't want to wait too long. I think 10 minutes isn't enough. You know, most coaches wait that 80th minute mark. I don't.
Brockport picks up the kick after the goal kick and is unable to counter on it as Fitzpatrick picks that ball off and plays the ball forward to Rivera.
Oh.
Rivera gives the ball away to Bobby Ross, who just taps it back to Dan Duffy. Brockport settles down in the back, but then starts to play very direct. They try to play that ball through again, and then it gets picked off by Matt Brown.
It gets through.
Great ball by Ian Tenzer that gets headed back by Gildemeyer, but Laurent is able to pick this ball up. He's kind of dancing in a phone booth and gets the shot off, but it goes wide just by the post.
That ball gets through, it could be a breakaway.
It could have been interesting. Re-entering the game is Eric Fortier for Dan Josepher. Josepher did his job, created some havoc up there. It is a goal kick for Solon. Solon puts this ball forward. A little slip on that, and it just makes Half Christians able to head that ball forward.
That was deflected. That should be only on his ball. They didn't see.
And they missed the little deflection that was there, so it'll stay with Brockport. Brockport throw in.
Little push here. Little pushing going on.
It looks like we're going to talk to Shkreli and Turchin as there's a little pushing and shoving going on. Typical men's match.
You know, with so much at stake, it's just going to, you know, in a close game, it's just going to get a little bit more physical these last 20 minutes.
And the ball falls to Altobelli, who tries to play the ball forward, and Fitzpatrick's able to pick that off. Marsh is pressuring high right there, and Fitzpatrick's able to play it off him and out of bounds for a throw-in. Dan Scott for Oneonta is going to take this throw. And it comes right to Fortier, who's got a great first touch on it. He plays it to Tenzer. Tenzer plays a quick ball through to Matt Brown on the right wing, who plays it back into Tenzer. Tenzer takes a long touch and is able to keep it as the ball falls to Rivera on the right wing. He's waiting to see if he can create something. Tenzer gets around. Two does a great job, Aubrey Brown, of keeping him outside and just poking it away for a throw-in.
It'd be great if we can get an insurance goal here.
1-0. There's a little, you know, one little mistake in that. It could change. Ball gets through into Tenzer. Tenzer plays a great sliding ball out to Rivera, and Gildemeyer's there to save the day for Brockport as he picks that ball off before it gets served in. Unfortunately, he plays the ball right out of bounds and gives Oneonta the throw-in. This game has been anything, you know, it's been exciting for sure. Now that they're really starting to play, both teams are starting to open it up a little bit. Laurent's fighting over there for the ball. He's got two people on him, and he wins the throw-in deep in his own half. 71 minutes into the game, and it's still 1-0 Oneonta.
Another throw for Oneonta.
Brockport's allowed to sub now as Kevin Dorn checks back into the game for the Golden Eagles.
Let's see if he makes any changes here, like sends more people forward or...
Dorn just checked in for Mark Orlando.
Doesn't...
And the goal kick falls to Alex Shkreli.
Oh, that's a flop. And he gets the call.
Oh, Altobelli won that one.
Why does he replay on that one?
Yep, there's your forward again. It's going to be a direct kick for Song.
And this is going to be a dangerous restart because this goalkeeper, he strikes this right, he puts it into the 18.
He's about 10 yards from the mid-stripe. Laurent is forcing him to play it high as he's slid a couple times and misplayed it. Solon plays a great ball into the 18. That's one in the air by Tenzer.
Got some air there.
Tenzer is able to play it forward, and Matt Brown picks it up for Oneonta, but Bobby Ross, little tug of the jersey, and it'll be a direct kick for Oneonta State.
It's like Nick Layton's getting ready to come back in. I think he settles the midfield pretty well for him. So.
Yeah, agreed on that one. Nick has done well this year as a senior. He has 5. He leads the team in assists with 5. And it looks like the official's calling somebody over. I'm going to be having a little chat with Dan Turchin, because it looks like he might be bleeding, which means he has to leave the field. And they can make a sub for him, or they don't have to. As long as he gets it taken care of, he can come right back on.
Looks like it's his fingers bleeding.
They're throwing some water on it, hoping that'll help. Looks like they're going to make a sub as Jeff Wild is checking back into the game for Brockport in place of Dan Turchin. And now Nick Lang has entered the game for Alex Shkreli, as it looked like Shkreli might have had some blood on his shirt. That ball gets played forward, and a foul is called deep on the line as Rivera kind of tossed Aubrey Brown down there. Solon is going to take this kick deep in his own half.
Lock it out! Come on, Gary! Come on, Gary! We need more, Gary!
You can hear Ian Byrne cheering that team on, trying to get them going. Oh, and a foul is called right at half. Looks like it was a little head-to-head.
Head-to-head collision there.
Yeah. Right now you got Bobby Ross, who is down for Brockport, as they were both kind of going for that ball and headed each other. A foul was called on that play. Ross is standing right up, ready to get back into it. Solon is going to take this kick as it falls right at the mid-stripe. His last one was dangerous. It's kind of nice when you can have a player like this who can play that ball forward. Oneonta is holding a high line at the 18, once again to give Siegelman some room. A great ball in, played a little wide, and Rivera gets his head to it. They're able to bring it down, and Wild is able to try and get a turn on it, but Rivera steals that ball on that double and is playing through to Fortier. Fortier plays that ball forward to Gary Larond. Larond is on 1-on-2.
Oh, look at Tenzer.
The ball's played back to Tenzer, who gets the shot, and a rebound is given up. Fortier's there to get that play, and the ball's played wide. Rivera picks it back up on the wing. He settles it down, plays it back to Ian Tenzer, touches it on, and it's
nice
given to
turn.
Fortier. Fortier gets a great shot,
Just wide.
and it just goes wide for a Brockport goal kick.
That's why you train. Follow everything. Follow everything. A nice hard hit like that.
And here's the replay of that last play. Tenzer gets that on, and it just falls to him. Fortier gets a quick turn. Nice little touch just wide.
Keeper looked like he had that covered.
On the goal kick, Oneonta is able to win it. Tenzer brings that ball down. Nice little ball through to Rivera. Rivera, a little mistouch, left it behind him. And Wild for Brockport is able to pick that up. Altabelli gets that turn. Fitzpatrick closes it down quick, but Altabelli comes out with the ball. He plays it to Matt. Plays it wide, and Matt Brown picks that off. Altabelli gets that ball back. He has been dangerous for Brockport. That final pass is not there for him today, though, as Jeff Wild picks the ball up on the wing, and Oneonta is able to come wide and get this throw in.
So now we're getting down inside 15 minutes left, and I still don't see Brockport making any adjustments to push numbers forward. Their best chances are their goalkeepers' restarts.
That and this gentleman's throw-ins as
yeah,
Gildemeyer's getting ready to take this throw. Dan Turchin checks back into this game after having to come off with the blood. And Gildermeyer takes a quick throw. Fortier picks up that ball and is able to play it forward to Larond, who has Nick Lang running with him down the right side. He plays it wide to Lang.
Nice.
And Lang plays that ball right back to Gary Larond, who gets around his defender. Oh, that ball is touched.
No call.
That ball got just touched to keep that from not being called a penalty kick. Christian just turned with 3 people on him and is able to keep possession of it. He plays the ball wide again. The ball gets deflected inside. And Brockport's going.
Stupid foul.
Jeff Christian with the foul on the back, and he's going to be called back to see the official.
No need to do that. You got numbers forward. You're in your offensive third.
And you got numbers
numbers
back.
to win that ball there.
Yeah, that was
now they're going to
kind of unwarranted. Now Christian picks up a yellow card on that play.
And they're placing the ball 10 yards ahead of where the foul was. And they're going to send it into the offensive third.
Must watch professional soccer. Salton is going to take this direct kick in his own half. A little deeper than he'd normally want. Nice ball forward by Salton. And it's won by Ian Tenzer. He has been a monster in the midfield right now on those 50-50 balls. It actually took a little deflection and ends up being an Oneonta throw-in. Number 8 for Brockport, Mark Orlando is checking back into the game for Tyler Marsh. And John Kowalski is coming back into the game for the Red Dragons for Ian Tenzer.
Still only 2 forwards for Brockport.
Yeah, I'm waiting to see how long he takes before he makes this change. If he does it all, it makes you wonder. Oof.
They're doing a good job of doubling that ball still. And look at they're getting numbers forward for,
Oh, the change they've made. Bobby Ross has now come forward. Yeah, we were just going over the regional standings just recently, and St. Lawrence lost on penalty kicks to Vassar in their semifinal, the #1 team in the nation. Hobart also went down in their semifinal to RPI. Both teams are ahead of Oneonta State in the regional rankings, but we'll see what happens now if Oneonta State can close out this game. The ball gets played forward, and Rivera picks it up. He's able to keep control of it, and he plays it to the midfield to where Fortier is. Fortier plays to Christian. Christian goes wide to Kowalski, who's trying to create some magic out there. He tried to play the ball around one side and run around the other. It didn't work, but he wins the ball back, unfortunately out of bounds for a goal kick.
You wonder if Ian Byrne and his team have talked about it, but every time they're getting around Brockport's left side. Sometimes you find a weakness and you keep exploiting it. You wonder if it's on purpose, but every dangerous ball we've gotten around the end line there it's on the same side.
That is the truth. It has been around that side. It seems like this side they're shutting it down well.
Yeah.
But then you look at, we scored coming through the middle off of that service. So are they seeing something? A great tackle by Kevin Dorn off Nick Lang, and Brockport breaks with the ball. Bobby Ross, number 4 for Brockport, has now moved forward to pair with Altobelli up front. It looks like that might be the only change so far that Brockport has made. Ross has 4 goals on the season, Altobelli 6, but I haven't seen a whole lot. And Duffy, their leading scorer with 6 as well, has been pretty quiet out there.
It's such a dangerous throw.
A little whiff by Rivera, but he's able to keep it as...
If Gary can just keep...
Here goes Laurent. And Gildemeyer does well to keep that. Fortier wins that back. And number 2, Aubrey Brown, is able to stick that ball and clear it out of bounds. That was a hard tackle right there. John Kowalski picks up the ball off the throw-in and plays it to the midfield to Fortier, who's unable to keep it, but it falls right back to Nick Lang. Lang, unfortunately, cannot keep that ball and gives it up to Kevin Dorn of Brockport, who plays the ball wide to Altobelli. Altobelli is able to win a throw-in for his Brockport Golden Eagles, and he takes it himself, throws it right into Cheeseman. Cheeseman's unable to keep it as Nick Gregg clears that ball forward to Laurent. Laurent's able to bring the ball down, and Nick Lang now takes control of it.
Keys for Oneonta, getting into the last 10 minutes is when we clear it here, we need our forwards to really possess the ball and carry it until we can get numbers up.
That's a great point, because if we're just going to turn around and give it up, all they're looking to do is go forward with it and play that ball long every time. Oneonta State is just looking to move this ball around. Fortier takes that throw-in off his chest, but is unable to keep it. He wins the ball back and just plays wide to Dan Scott. Oneonta's just looking to possess. They play through to Christian, and Christian just splits the defense to Justin Rivera. Rivera's going to keep the ball.
Oh, he gets a corner for us.
He earns a corner kick on this play. Oneonta State has 2 subs coming into the game. 23 re-enters the game, Dan Josepher, and 16 is going to make his first appearance, Mike Boland. Dan Scott is going to take this corner kick. And we've got a replay of this last action.
Oh, this
Fortier
tackle here.
tackled pretty good and upended.
Is that a foul?
And the corner kick is in, but it's long. It falls to nothing, and Brockport will end up with a goal kick.
Got 9 minutes left.
Sullen takes this kick. One of his shorter kicks of the day, but it works as number 7, Dan Turkin, is able to flick it on. But Altobelli is unable to keep possession of it. Dan Josepher's in, just trying to wreak havoc up front a little bit. He is all over the place running. Dan Scott takes it off the chest with Altobelli's pressure on the back. He gives it away to number 21, Kevin Dorn of Brockport. Dorn is able to get that a fortuitous bounce, and Brian Duffy picks that ball up, but Kowalski is able to take it away from him. Nick Lang settles the ball down and plays a great little flighted ball to Dan Josepher down in the left corner. Josepher's looking to take him on one-on-one. He takes the ball to the center.
Oh,
what
my
a
God.
shot. Wow, that had some movement on it. It ends up going just wide and doesn't end up with much of anything. Sullen doesn't even have to make a save. We have a replay of that last shot.
He lets him turn to his right foot. His dominant foot for most players, and
look at that movement.
Wow.
That actually stayed out of the goal. It doesn't move so much. On the following goal kick, Mike Boland's able to get up and win that header. Number 2, Aubrey Brown, was able to pick it up after the header, but plays it right out of bounds. Oneonta can now kind of run the clock down by taking their time on these throw-ins, these corner kicks, these goal kicks. No sense in wasting time when you're up 1-0. Dan Josepher had that ball and lost it. The ball, we have a foul called on Josepher as he kind of came from behind on that.
tough. You want him to, you lose the ball, you want to pressure back, but you got to be careful not to take silly fouls.
Sullen is now going to take this direct kick. He's about 5 yards inside his own half. He has been dangerous on these last few as he's put him inside the 18. Looks like Siegelman has come off his line a little bit. And now he starts to go back. Dan Scott wins that header, and Rivera is able to kick the ball higher than further. Number 12, Max Egan for Brockport's able to win it.
Forward for Max
comes out after a Greg header goes backwards a little bit.
That's key. That's a big save for Max there.
And Max, rather than punting it, goes for the short ball, because then it's no longer 50-50. They can keep possession of it. As we have about 6 minutes left in this game, LaRond is down in his offensive
Oh, he gets around him again. He beats two. Oh, it's still in.
Justin Rivera picks this ball up, and it is
it's a corner, right?
cleared out for a corner kick. LaRond is just...
He beats two defenders around the end line there.
Sullen gets his hands on the first save, but can't keep it. And the replay again. As LaRond gets around two guys that are leaning on him.
So dangerous. He's smart. He gets around two, and he
tries to play that ball back. Sullen loses it as it was starting to go back to their near post, and Rivera picks it up.
All right,
here comes this corner kick. Rivera is going to take this corner kick. There has a little confusion on that, on who's coming off, but it looks like Eric Fortier has entered the game, and Justin Rivera is now coming off. So Nick Lang is going to go over and take this corner kick for Oneonta State.
5.5 minutes.
As the officials stop the clock on all that confusion, so as not to waste some time.
It would be great to get an insurance goal here.
This would be perfect timing. It might just end Brockport's hopes of anything. Here's the corner. What a great ball.
Oh,
and they are able to clear it out by an Aubrey Brown header, but not quite far enough as Oneonta plays it back in with Matt Brown. And then Brockport gets the throw. Cheeseman is taking a quick throw in as there's only about 5 minutes left, and Brockport has to find something to tie this game up. A foul is called on Matt Brown back in Brockport's defensive third, and Sullen is sprinting up to the half to take this. Sullen's about ready to put this back into play. That's a great kick by Solon, but nobody is there for Brockport as Dan Scott able to get a free header forward. Aubrey Brown for Brockport puts it back in. Brian Duffy puts the ball back up high, and Max Siegelman is able to collect it before Altabelli is able to get there. He's pushing people forward. I think he's just going to let this ball fly as he drops it to the ground. He prefers to put it off the ground than he does punt.
We're getting under 4 minutes, close to 4 minutes here of play. Clock will stop when substitutions are made.
It's a great point. When you're in the lead in a college game with 5 minutes left in the half, the clock stops if you sub. Fortier has the ball. He takes a shot that actually almost ended up in a throw-in, but it is a goal kick.
A little bit off frame. That's okay.
That's a great way to waste time. Ian Tenzer re-enters the game for Oneonta State, and there is 4 minutes and 2 seconds left in this game.
Make an adjustment. We put numbers back. Well, we got just Gary forward. We go to a 4.
It looks like we're a 4-5-1 now, and Fortier is going to try and keep possession of this as much as possible. He loses the ball. Scott tries to play it back forward. Fortier flicks it on. Bolin takes that little ricochet off his chest, and it falls to Cheeseman for Brockport, who plays the ball back to Gildermeyer. Gildermeyer plays that ball forward. A little flick on by Bobby Ross, and Max is just going to let it come to his feet and force Brockport to make him pick it up. Great play by Siegelman, who bowls it out to Ray Fitzpatrick as they want to keep possession. There's a great ball forward by Fitzpatrick to Laurent.
Keep this in the corner. Keep this in the corner, but he's in the corner.
Laurent plays a break ball in to Kowalski. Kowalski's unable to finish as Saul gets a little touch on it and then is able to collect.
I mean, that's a great dangerous play, but
Saul punts that ball 2/3 of the field. Oneonta wants a handball, but the ball played his hand instead of the other way around. Brockport's just playing the ball forward now, hoping they can get something. Oneonta's got to keep possession. Laurent wins this ball, but to no avail. It goes out of bounds for a Brockport throw-in. Under 3 minutes to play.
Eric, drop, Eric.
Gildermeyer with the throw, and Fortier wins the header. Fortier clears it out of bounds. It's going to give Gildermeyer another chance to do this flip throw, which is just as dangerous as a corner kick. Oneonta's got to get possession and play.
Brockport's got more numbers of forward now.
Fortier with a great ball. Orlando for Brockport tried the bike, but is unable to connect.
Yeah, Gary, keep us out.
Laurent tries to go after it, and Solon's out of the box. A little whiff on it, and it's unfortunate. Laurent is now holding his...
for Brockport. It's got to be offsides.
Wow, that was a heck of a shot by Bobby Ross. That just goes high over the crossbar. And Max is now going to take his time on this goal kick as there is under 2 minutes left to play.
Looks like Gary might have pulled a hamstring on that sprint.
I'm trying to figure out if he pulled the hamstring or got kicked when Solon kind of misplayed that ball. Siegelman with the kick. Plays it, and it's just about to hit half. Orlando gets called for the foul on Kowalski, and it'll give Oneonta State a direct kick about 2 yards inside their own half. Tenzer sets the ball, and Nick Gregg is taking his time to hit this ball. He plays the ball to the left corner to Fortier, who's just going to hopefully keep possession of it. They don't need a goal. They just need to keep it.
1 minute remaining.
With 1 minute left, their handball was called. Solon is getting ready to take this kick.
Bring it to the corner. You don't need to give it to the keeper to send it right back down our throat.
Not when he's starting to kick it well.
And this is
a foul on Brockport gives Oneonta the opportunity to waste a little more time as there's only about 35 seconds left in this game.
Guys, we're getting a little excited here on the sideline.
I know, I think I'd be a little aware on the sideline. Fitzpatrick plays that ball forward to Laurent, who's unable to collect it as Orlando brings it down.
Getting down to 20 seconds left here.
Aubrey Brown plays this ball forward. They got one last opportunity, but Ray Fitzpatrick is there to head the ball out of play.
This out.
Tenzer gets the ball.
10 seconds.
Kowalski's just playing it wide as there's less than 10 seconds. Brockport's going to try to go for a quick throw. You got 5 seconds left. And the game, Oneonta State is SUNYAC champs in men's soccer, 1-0.
Congratulations to Ian and his team.
What a fantastic game. 0-0 at halftime, and then Oneonta State scores a fantastic goal.
Well deserved. You know, they definitely outplayed them. 12 shots.
They had a great season. Oneonta State now picks up the automatic bid for the NCAA tournament. They will wait till Monday to find out who they play, where they play. They have the opportunity to host, considering the top 2 teams in the region have gone down. We will wait and see. Let everybody know. That was a fantastic game. I was actually surprised Brockport didn't make more changes.
Yeah, I couldn't tell the last 4 or 5 minutes if they were actually just purposely changed their formation or they were just getting a little hungry.
I mean, the only change I actually saw is that they moved Bobby Ross forward, and he did create some havoc, but there just wasn't enough numbers forward on it.
It looked like Ian burned him into the 4-5-1 with about, I think it was only 5 minutes maybe, or maybe 10 minutes.
He brought Bolin back in the game. He dropped Fortier back in, able to possess a little bit more. It'll be interesting to see how they come out of this now with a great high. That moves their record to 14-2-2 on the season, and it is their first SUNYAC tournament title since becoming eligible.
As a Division III program, yes. First time NCAA tournament since 1974 overall for the men's soccer program here at Oneonta State.
That's a great win for Oneonta State. Now it's just a waiting game. Wait and see who they play, where they play. Brockport had a heck of a season. We'll have to wait and see if they get an at-large bid. Their record moves to 12-4-1 overall, and you can't doubt them on the terrific season they had as they went on a run there late in the season. This victory actually moves Oneonta State to 15 games undefeated.
We're having a great year. We're going to be announcing
the all-tournament team will be announced here shortly, as well as the presentation of the SUNYAC trophy to the Oneonta State men's team. And now we turn it over to Mike with the winning coach, Ian Byrne.
Coach, 2011 SUNYAC champions. How does that feel?
Yeah, it's brilliant. You know, this group, we've been together for a while, so we've had a couple semi-final losses. We know how that felt, and yeah, I feel we deserved it. I felt this was the 2 best teams playing, and I just felt we were more attacking, and you know, over the course of the season, scored a lot more goals, and I feel we deserve to win it.
First time you guys been here in a while. Obviously, you want to keep this going. What are you looking forward to in the next coming weeks in the tournament?
This is it. We've got to keep going. I mean, I don't know how many games it is now, but I felt actually we were a bit nervous today. So hopefully we've got this out the system. We can go enjoy the NCAAs and, you know, get back to our really attacking ways. But, you know, the competition gets harder as you move, the further you move along. So, you know, up against good teams.
All right. Well, thank you, Coach, and good luck with the rest of the tournament. We're going to take a replay of that goal and back to them in the booth.
Here's the replay on this goal.
This is just a great...
The ball gets played in the Lang, who actually, the mistouch actually helped him because it froze Brockport's defense. That ball gets played in beautifully to Scarelli. Scarelli takes it around, plays a great ball back, and Rivera made no doubt about it. He made that net ripple pretty good.
You know, and that's your job. You know, you're making that run to get inside your defender and just put it on frame.
A fantastic game. And now Oneonta State's going to celebrate. Do you want me to leave the score? So Oneonta State waits, as we've said before. They wait for their...
And I believe it's a 60 or 64 team. I think 60 team
60 team tournament, I believe. So we'll wait and see. The tournament all-stars are going to be announced shortly. As well as... On behalf of Liz McGrail and I'm Alicia Lang, we want to thank you for being with us on the air of this game.
What's up, girl? Come on over here and give me daddy a hug right now. What's up, fellas? Here we go, boys. I'll be there. I'll be there for both. I'm going to be my time, I think. Everybody with us. Well done, fellas. We needed that.